Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Everybody, let's all stand as we are about to begin our second session today. Put your hands together. Om Sajam Cha Varti Sanyukta Grahina Yojidam Mayam Deepam Grihana Devesham Trailokya Timirapam Jai Jai Bhagwat Bhagwan Ki Hai Aarti Papiyon ko paap se hai taarti.
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला हरि गान यही वरदान यही हरि गान यही वरदान यही जग की मंगल की आरती पापियों को पाप से तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पाप से है तारती ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत श्रापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला
गीत पावन पुनीत श्रापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला
है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी ये मधुसूदन की आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती ये मधुर बोल जग खंड खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बेगरी को बनाने वाला
मधुर बोल जग पंथ खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही
श्री राम यही घनश्याम
पापियों को पाप दे तारती। हरि ओम नमो नारायण, 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 ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण, ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण, ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण, ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण, ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण, ओम नमो नारायण, ओम नमो नारायण, ओम नमो नारायण, ओम नमो नारायण।
Om Namo Narayana. Everybody, Hari Om.
नमो नारायण।
Prabhu, we come to listen to your discourse. In the Bhagwat Dharma, it describes that a person who practices Shravanam, just by making the time, maybe I don't have prasad, maybe I don't have flowers, maybe I cannot be here in person, I'm watching online. But just by making the time as a sacrifice, and I use my ears and my eyes to listen, to watch the arati, etc. But listening to these discourses actively wash away the sins, the burden. During this Adig Mass, Purushottam Mass, Puran says, Lord Vishnu tells Lakshmi Mata that the person who neglects to do vrat, the person who neglects to do my worship, Vishnu's worship, Krishna worship during this month, you're going to be riddled with poverty because you had this opportunity to do good, to help yourself, and you throw it away. For this reason, it is a sin to even close the mandir, not to do your prayer, not to listen and to discuss the holy text. To do this type of worship now, to share food and to share water, prasad, all these things combined to bring about a lot of benefit. And at the very onset of our prayer, dear Lord, thank you for this opportunity. Let's pray together, everybody. Om Gajananam
सेवितं
Kapeta Jambo
फलसार भक्षितं
Umasutam
शोकविनाशकारकं
Namami Vigane.
गणेश्वर पारपङ्कजम्
With one voice, Sarvamangala-mangalaye Shive Sarvartha-sadhike Saranye
त्रयम्बिके गौरी
Narayani
नमोस्तुते
Gurur-Brahma
गुरुर्विष्णु
Gurur-Devo
महेश्वरा
Gurur-Sakshat
परं ब्रह्मा
Tasmai Shri
गुरुवे नमः
Om Namo Bhagavate
वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate
वासुदेवाय
Bihari Lal ki
Jai.
Devotees, please have your seats. Make yourself comfortable. Sitaram, and welcome to everybody online and those of you here in the ashram. Special welcome to Pandit Vishnu, Pandit Krishna. Earlier this morning, we did Govardhan Kathan. Last night we did Kalya Katha. As we are listening to the different glories, stories of Lord Krishna. And now we enter into a part that describes one of the things that is missing when he becomes an adult. Remember, in this, you have to know your God. The purpose of the Bhagwat is to give you the knowledge that when you say you believe, you know what you believe in and why. And as we have been going from Katha to Katha, when Ved Vyas decides to make the Bhagwat, he says in this age, people are going to become so complacent that the concept for the brain to understand the Vedic knowledge, it'll be very difficult for them. So I'll take the Vedic knowledge and I'll make a new text. And in this new text, I'll put actors, I'll put names, forms to act out the dharma that you want to establish in your life. So when a person listens to the Bhagavad, yes, you hear stories. Lord Krishna in the last episode lifts the Govardhan hill. But in it, when he's talking to his father about why we worship that land, the logic, don't do prayers only because you're afraid of what will happen. Then that's not real praise. That's not the best type of praise. It is not what you call sattvic praise. I am doing the prayers because I have a gun to my head. I'm afraid if I don't do the prayers, someone will die. Or the family may not be happy. Somebody will get sick. Let's say there is a belief, if I don't do my day offering, something bad will happen. If I do not do that Durga Puja in time, something bad will happen. So then it's as if you are doing the prayers out of obligation, but not really because I want to do it, not because I feel to do it. Think about the day you're holding your prasad and you're about to offer it, what is passing through your mind. Most of the time, we get through. We get away. It's done. The work finished. Until next year, same time. And Krishna is telling Nand, you are doing Indra's puja because you are afraid of the rain not coming. But Indra is somebody who is elected, like a politician. The name Indra is not somebody's name, but from age to age, an individual raises to that rank. And we use the example of Ved Vyas. When we were celebrating the other day Guru Purnima is the commemoration of Ved Vyas's birthday. But in the discourse in Vishnu Puran, it says that for every kalp in Dwapar on this day, Ved Vyas takes shape to mold the texts that match the mindset and the ability of the people. So in Satyug, the Ved was one book. Then he breaks the book from 1 into 4 Ved. And he teaches the different disciples, go and propagate Sam Ved, Rig Ved, etc. And then he breaks those books into smaller morsels as time is passing and people's lifespan is getting shorter. In the same way, when we hear somebody named Dubey, this person is elevated. Their name is given because they have attained knowledge and mastered 2 Ved. Chaubey, the person masters 4 Ved. Sastri, the person has mastered and understands the Sastras. And in the same way, the name is like a title. In police service, we have sergeant and lieutenant and all these things. You have a prime minister. And the person who is given the opportunity to lead the devatas is called Indra. But people mistake this title to be the name Indra. In text, they refer Indra, God of all the devatas, leader of the elements, etc., guardian of all the Digbal. But as time is passing, Indra, this is what Krishna is telling Nand, and when there is Mahapralay, Indra has to be sucked in, he's recycled. he goes back into somebody who is Lord Vishnu. He says, why bother with the worker when we could go straight to the source? He says, yes, you are stopping the rain from falling, but it is the land that is giving you the grass for the cow to eat, and from that cow we get the byproduct, milk, ghee, etc. So worship the land. The land has the ability, even when there's no rain, growth could happen. When there's collected water upon the earth, when it is not falling in this moment, but it fell before or after, the earth could still churn and process and give you what you want. So in trying, the secondary motive is he wants to break Indra's pride. He sways the father into doing the Govardhan Puja. And in it, we heard how when Indra is, he's hurt here, he feels bad, he feels, but in a sense of arrogance, he didn't ask why. Why did this have to happen? He feels, who are these people that they didn't honor me with his puffed up chest? Who is this little boy to say that you cannot do my worship? And he tries to spite them. He tries to punish them by putting torrential rain, bad weather. And Krishna goes and he lifts the mountain. And we did discuss why he had to lift the mountain. Because in Ramayana, when they were building the bridge, and Hanuman Swami is bringing Govardhan, the message is sent out at a point, stop bringing material, bridge is built. So Hanuman Baba is going to rest down Govardhan halfway in the journey, here each way going. Govardhan says to him, don't do this, don't put me here. I was going to be a sevak for Prabhu Sri Ram. He would have walked on me on his way to Lanka. If you leave me here, his footsteps will never be on me. Don't do this to me, brother. If I could get to be just a little help to the Lord, I will get salvation. I have been placed to remain here as a hill because of past sins. Don't leave me, I'll be trapped here. Hanuman Baba understood the need to serve God. So he went quick because he didn't know what to do. And Sri Ram already gave him one instruction. Stop everything, don't bring no more. So he goes to Sri Ram and he tells him, Prabhu, there's Govardhan and Govardhan is grieving to work for you. What to do? He says, tell Govardhan, I says, stay right where he is. And when I come back in my next Janam, in Krishna Avatar, I will not walk on him, but I will go under him. He will shelter me like an umbrella. So when the need came, when the rain started to pong, and the flood is coming, and the cows have to run, and they came to this little boy on his little finger. For 7 days, he lifts Govardhan. The people, the father, and all the men, the friends, oh God, the little boy is 7 years old. How long you go hold this mountain over? Let me help you. And they start to put stick and, different props. And as he just, not that he moved the finger, as he released the strain a little bit, every prop, everything starts to break. No, brother, hold. And he waits and he allows Indra to go through the motion of going through all this, this rage, anger. And he wants to show that he is the God of rain and he could send powerful storms and so on. And no matter what energy he puts to damn these people, they are singing and celebrating under this Govardhan hill. Govardhan is happy because he is serving the Lord. And it went on for day after day after day, and so he's going on until Indra catches himself and he says, who is this little boy? This cannot be a normal human with this amount of force, with this amount of power. And then he realizes to himself he made a mistake, this has to be Mahavishnu. Who could stop this type of storm? Pulls back the clouds and he goes humbly and rests his head. The name Govind is given to Krishna by Indra. And he says, Prabhu, I really made a mistake. You are truly the protector of your devotee. From today, this is your name. Krishna says, no matter how high you reach in this life, remember you are working, you are there, you are appointed, you have, because I will it. And you have forgotten this. You thought you are doing this on your merit. And for that you're going to lose. And what did he lose? Ask yourself as a Hindu, how much Indra Dev Puja you do? How much Indra flag? This is the main Devta. This is the God of gods. You do Agni Puja, you do Varun Dev Puja when we go by the beach, so on. How much Indra flag? What's the color of the Indra flag? Because of that pride, Krishna says no one will do your worship. No matter your status, no one will recognize you because you do not have the right attitude. Although you are placed so high, although we expect greatness from you, you let me down. And for this reason, one offering in the Havan, Om Shri Indraya Namah Swaha, because of your position. But other than that, no worship, nothing for you. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. And we stop there, and now we're going to continue. Chapter 44, Scan 10. The purpose of Krishna's birth is to rid the earth of all the different negative. And it is time now for Krishna to go from Gokul, Vrindavan, to Mathura. His uncle has sent an emissary to go fetch him. Let them come and let them take part in the wrestling match in the arena. I wish to see my nephew. And with sweet words, the uncle is calling. He's at an age where he's neither a child nor a teenager, between 11 and 15 years old. But they walk as if two proud elephants are coming, strong. But something first, somebody's crying, Radha is crying. Radha doesn't want to see him leave. Radha is suffering because of a shrap that she gains. And she has to live without Krishna. And she's crying and saying, you're leaving me and you're going to forget me. And he says, no, I will not. When you go home, watch a picture of Krishna. You will see that when he was a child, he has his basuri in his hand. But when he becomes man, when he becomes king, when Dwarka is built, when he gets married, for example, no more basuri in his hand. This is the moment when that basuri is going to be surrendered. As he's about to go to Mathura, he's not going to be living in Vrindavan anymore. He will never come back to this village. He goes from Mathura and he then will establish Dwarka and his place. He becomes king, they fight war, he makes friends with Arjun, he gets married to Rukmani, many things are happening. But he does not come back to Vrindavan till the day he comes to see his mother and father for the last. Let's enter. As he goes to talk to Radha, as he wants to tell her that he's going. Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam.
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 Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Vritau Gopi Haye Katip Ye Var Ye Bhalde Vrajana Janardhanau Rajan Vish Rajan Gajahe Vedhautam.
Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. 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 Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
He tells her, would you not come to see me go? And she basically throws herself in a cow shed where they have little hay. She's older than him. Radha, like how do you see them here in this picture on the wall? They're not the same age. Radha was born before. She cannot in this janam, when he comes as Krishna, she cannot attain, she cannot have him. Sudama made Radha. But she still says, you know, in secret, you are mine. But I cannot have you. But you are going to forget me, you are going to leave me, and you're not going to see me. So he says, Devi, I have to go and do my duty. I must go and meet my Mamu. I must go and meet him. He's the one I have to go and meet. I came here upon the earth to deal with him. And she keeps crying and crying. And he says, I'll leave you my basuri. And the only person I played for was yourself. The only person I'll play for again is you. Keep this basuri until we meet again. And he gives her the flute. And he really doesn't play it until such time they're heading to Golok. They jump on the chariot, and the mother, Yashoda, and all of them, it is as if they are drinking with their eyes, looking at him, worried about him, because why? After all the different demons, after all the different things that attacked, and Yashoda had tried to keep life within the body, she puts the different armlets, she puts the peacock feather on his head. They did all the different prayers, everything. Now you're telling me you are going to go where the murderer is. The person that is plotting, the person that wishes you the worst. Now she has to see you, she has to let him go. She cannot stop him. None is holding her back. Let him go. He has his duty to do. Let him go. Leave them. They are going to be okay. But Yashoda does not listen to it. She does not want to hear it. Let's hear what happens in this room.
Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. 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 Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Nanda Gopada Yogopa Bhoja Bhoja Rajan Jasam Mahutah Nevedito Paya Nastika Evam Smita.
Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. 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 Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Nanda Baba says, we were invited to, the king sent a lot of invitation. Yashoda, I will go with them. Me and some of the men folk will go together with them. They will be okay. Don't worry. You all hold here and hold on the fort as it will, and we will go together. And they jump on the chariot and slowly they start to move off. Now when they arrive at Mathura, everybody is watching the different fighters, the different wrestlers, the different people that are going to take part in big wrestling match. Representatives of all the different families. And from the Bhoj, which is Nanda Baba and his contingent, comes Krishna and Balram. And they have to fight different wrestlers, they beat them. In some cases, they fought elephants, and the driver of the elephant, he's very ferocious. He's like an elephant himself, and he comes up to them like death on this animal. But without much effort, Krishna and more so Balram destroy this elephant. The brothers, people are watching. The people in Mathura are spellbound because they hear that is the son. That is, well, not one, two. The sons of Vasudeva and Devaki. Look at how beautiful they look. How much they work together as brothers. And nothing seems to be able to stop them. The people sitting in the arena watching the fight. Oh, the king probably is afraid of them. I've heard that we sent Potna, he sent Chakra, the Yaksh, He sends Kesin, Denuka, Bana, different types of enemies, different types of very vicious people. Some looking like cows, some looking like donkeys, some like snake. And they were able to destroy all. When the Devatas attacked them, they humbled the Devatas. They lifted mountains. There was nothing that could stop them. They destroyed Pralamba, Vatak, different type of Asur. There is nothing that could stop them. This little elephant, this could stop them. He Nanda suno ye Rama, bhavate vikrama ye matao, nitya buddhi kaulo ye shrutu, yagya raja sutayatam, jaya bhole baba tab sharanam,
jai bhole baba tab sharanam, jai bhole baba tab sharanam, जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम, जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम, जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम.
After they fight, at the end of the day they go for rest. And the message through the people in the court, they send, "O Krishna, O son of Nand, O Balram, you two are so lucky, great heroes. You have been doing so well in the arena that you have been invited to fight the king himself. You are so lucky. Tomorrow the king is going to face you in the arena. I hope you don't run away. I hope you are not a coward." Parikshit said, "How is it that these little boys, so young, could face seasoned warriors like Kans? Isn't it like you are putting a calf to fight a full-blown bull? The little one against the big one. How is this fair?" Guruji says, because Kans was very afraid. He realized that when you want to do something, better you do it yourself. And with his strength, because he's very powerful, he wants to have direct control over their destruction. So many people were sent and they all were failing, that he thinks it is now time for me to destroy them. That this whole facade of this competition, it is time for me to do what I really had to do, that I am going to kill them once and for all. And Krishna simply smiles, Parikshit. He smiles, he says, "Don't worry, we are going to meet our uncle tomorrow. We're not going to run. We listen when our adults talk to us. We are boys. We are boys. We are going to come and we are going to play tomorrow in that arena. Fear not." Balla balla vayam tul bale kridhaye manoyeta chit bhavaye yudhamartan smriti shon malla malla bhasadhaya. Jai Bhole Baba tab sharanam, Jai Bhole Baba tab sharanam, Jai Bhole
Baba tab sharanam, Jai Bhole Baba tab sharanam, Jai Samba Sada
Shiva tab sharanam.
Samba Sada Shiva tab sharanam.
Guruji says, remember, they belong to the Vrishni. Through Vasudev, they have that linkage to strong Kshatri. They are born genetically, they are always ready to fight. They are programmed to defend the weak and the innocent. There is no injustice here. The true injustice is this fool called Kans, that he feels because he has more gray hair or because he's bigger, he could trump these little boys. But the amount of energy that is in these two little bodies, he is playing with fire. The next day comes, and Krishna and Balaram enter the arena on time, and they catch hold of two great demons, Mustika and Kanur, and they have them running. They start to bleed. Their bodies is being broken, and they cannot get away. As they try to scamper away to the edge of the arena, they are dragged back in by the hands of Balaram. Mahayenavat dharmayevam Raja bhasmaye dambaye Bala bhala buddhi rajochit Pashyate khabaye ati
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम 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 जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम.
The two demons were supposed to frighten these little boys. They were supposed to be like huge trees towering over them with muscles. These two little saplings, these two little baby plants in front of these men. But now, Raja Kans is sitting in the audience in his high chair and he's seeing his men bawl and ask for mercy. Rajan, save us, King, save us. No matter how close they come to the end to get out of the ring, they are dragged back by Balaram. Balaram with his red eyes, full of rage, that you who try to trample on this supreme ancient person, come now. You wanted an audience, you wanted to live a life like this, and now you have the full and personal attention of Mahavishnu. Where are you running? Let's play. And they hold them and they toss them, and the crowd is amazed to see these little boys lifting and throwing these people. But who is breathing different? Kans cannot bear. He thought that all his sides were impervious, that nobody could do them anything, nobody can harm them, nobody can harm me, nobody can do anything, not less alone these little boys. Who? Look, how is it that Mustika is being violently slapped by Balaram, and Balaram is not even breaking a sweat? He notices the tremble of his own people, the ones that are not in the fight yet, they have to go. And his side is very afraid. Balaram is hitting and cuffing blow after blow. It is as if this man's hand is adamantium steel. When Mustika is destroyed, when his body lay lifeless in the arena, Kutta, you go and advance this fight. You have the strength. When he dies, Shala, you go. And every time the body of Kans, he says, I have faith, I have support, I have belief that you will do it. Krishna holds the foot of Shala and he rips it out of the socket. He holds on to the head of the next one. And in this way, Toshala, that one dies, Mustika dies, Chanu dies, Kutta dies, one after the other. And Krishna says, is that all? Is that all you have in this arena? Come on, friends, let's play. We came to play, come on. The brothers hold on to each other and looking like this. Balaram lifts Krishna and would fling him. And would fling him, allowing his feet now to hit. All the people are cheering. Bravo, bravo, well done, well done. What art, what sportsmanship, what power. Where did you come from with all this strength? Wow. Ugrasen, the father of Devaki, the old king is in the jail cell, and he's hearing the vibration of his grandson shaking this ground. That now, after being locked up since the days of Kans taking the throne, long before Devaki is getting married, Kans displaced his father and he took the throne by force. And Ugrasen have been praying to get out of jail, and he hears his rescue, his son, his grandson is coming. Let's hear. Vasudev, Vasudev, Devaki Han, Tamuraye Ugrasen Vita, Chapiyena Mukhiyatam, Parameshwar Kripa Kriparajan,
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम 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 जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम शिव तब शरणम.
Ugrasen is praying in his cell, and nobody knows what he's praying, what he's saying. But Mahavishnu Krishna is listening, and Kriparaj, the God of mercy, has come to save them. And when that moment came, Khan's mouth. Remember we spoke about how people act when they're possessed. When you become so jealousful, you never have enough. You don't have the content. You was already king. You was good. You was senior in age. Nobody was interfering with you. But you send for the enemy. You send for Krishna to come to fight you. You call the fight to you because you became so full of pride that you could kill him. You couldn't kill him when he was baby. Now you kill him when he have more strength. He calls out to the rest of all the desperados, all the different warriors standing there, but too afraid to enter the arena. He says, drive out these people from my city, destroy these ill-behaved sons of Vasudev. He says, I know who they are. They are lying. They are the sons of Devaki and Rohini. Destroy them. And there now, when they charged, they did not have the sense of fairness that one go fight the other. All the demons charge, and Balaram says, no, I am not going to allow you to charge Krishna. And then and there, Balaram holds all of them and he starts to beat and bash. Listening to the prayer of old Ugrasen, seeing the moment that the blood in Khan's like it wanted to come out because he's losing his cool. Krishna starts to flare with rage. He calls upon him. Don't send nobody for me, Mamu, it's me. Come. Khan's, if you ever see a pit here, the arena, and let me say somebody middle-aged, drag a shield and a sword to go and fight in a wrestling match, which is supposed to be fought with hands. Khan's couldn't hold back. The unfairness, the unrighteousness had to show. His true nature had to show. He drags weapons now for a little child and he jumps over the guard. But like Garud holding on to a serpent with his talons ripping into the serpent, the flesh starts to bleed. Where Krishna caught hold of the neck of Khan, immediately the blood, he starts to rip at the vein. Just as how when Britta was being cut in that discourse where Vishwarupa, the origin of the menstrual cycle, why we don't go to the beach to do certain things, when that discourse was being done and the pain, the karma has to come out. Krishna is ready now for all the pain he put Ugrasen through, for all the pain that mother Devaki endured in that jail cell, bashing one head after the other. She had to see it. She had to live. If you see something horrendous, that's one way. But imagine every day for years, she has to see the blood-stained wall. He wouldn't even wash the wall. And that mother had to remain there. Now, this hero, now the savior, now the Govind, according to the mouth of Indra, you will be the one to save all your children. Now he is ready for Kans. And now the blood is on his hand, the blood is streaming. And even then, Kans did not have the blessing to understand what is about to happen, where he is, and who he is dancing with. It is as if he is dancing with Yamraj and he still cannot see it. Tam ye rati rati khansa harin harihin govinda Aheti shabd saye dvij par ye adav dvit ye sarva
Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Blessed is the mind of the devotee, that in the battle that you face, there are sometimes shrieks and screams, shouts that bring fear into your heart. But know that your fighter, your warrior, he's right there. squealing and fighting with you, standing on your side to hold on to any enemy that comes. And when you are drinking, when you are speaking, when you are wandering, when you are sleeping, know that He is right there willing to take up the fight, willing to fight on your behalf, if only you would call on Him. Now, Kamka, Nyagrodaka, and the other 8 younger brothers, Devaki did not have one brother. She has 9 brothers. The younger brothers of Kans that had enriched themselves, because when he becomes king, all of them are benefiting as ministers. They become very angry and they charge too. And Balaram dispatches each one of them from their mortal coil, from this form. He is taking advantage of all of them rushing. And the brother grabs on, Balaram grabs onto a huge tusk, like a pike, an elephant tusk. And one by one he rips them apart. So much blood and gore. In this moment, it looks like if Balaram is a lion and he's eating. The people in the audience, in that moment, they start to beat their kettle drums. The heaven starts to celebrate that all, even widows in the city of Mathura enter into that place to see this unrighteous king is about to meet his end. Tears start to flow from the people that were subjugated under this person's rule for so long. One by one, all these ruthless, without compassion people, and they're praying, oh God, you already know of Dharma. Today my day has come. Today I lost this one, I lost that one because of these people. And now look, karma is at hand. Anagasatvam ye bhutanam kritavanam drohamalatam tene mambo dasanitya he bhutana drukha ye leta.
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम, 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 जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम, जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम.
Oh Parikshit, one by one it was as if the fireflies are going to the flame. None the wiser. They are attracted to the same thing that brings about their demise, their death. And without any hesitation, without an invitation, without any type of aggression from Krishna, they run towards this young lion. And Balaram intercepts and he rips them apart. Balaram makes the promise in Ramayana that when we come back and you are now Sri Ram, I am Lakshman, and I am younger, and I have to follow you, I have to listen to you. When we come back, I'll be the older one and you will have to listen to me. I am not going to let anybody touch you. And Balaram takes his plow and he rips them. You have to understand how gorish, how destructive, the amount of force, but nobody is feeling sorry for these unrighteous people. The people start to pray and thank God in His various forms that they didn't show mercy in this life to the same people they were guarding and guiding. These politicians took everything from us. These politicians took advantage of women. They hurt children. They starved people. They took advantage of our good nature. They lost our husbands and young boys in wars that weren't necessary. All of these things, and we bled and we cried, and now our revenge is happening. Dear Lord, thank you that I have the sight to see it. Thank you that I have lived to see an end to the scourge that is ruling Mathura. And instead of, remember, he's the king, Kans is the king. The people didn't support Kans. They're supporting Krishna and they're cheering him on as he takes Kans' body and he's throwing it and spinning it like a rag in the arena. Raja Peta Ashwetam Bhaga Valyare Kaviyatam यमयम राज दूजाती संशय हटना संकरना
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम 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 जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम
मातर पीतर चैवासो विखट संदाये नाथ कृष्णारमवादये तं शरीरा स्मृति पर पादौते
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम 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 जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम
जय सांब सदा शिव तव शरणम वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. Sometimes the concept of mercy is really hard. How will I hold this person? Getting the opportunity to see Ugrasen is locked. Imagine Kans was so envious and so covetous that he couldn't wait. He was the eldest brother. He was going to get the throne. He couldn't wait for his father to die. He has to overthrow him, throw him out, displace him and lock him up under chain for years. Long before Devaki gets married, he has been living a life of merciless. When he puts Devaki to go to Vasudev's home and the Akashvani says, "Oh you fool, from her body will come your destructor," it wasn't because he didn't do anything. He has already hurt and harmed many people up to that point. And now he goes further, he locks up his sister, he locks up his brother-in-law. He goes further than that, he starts to kill the first 6 children. The Mamu, when somebody says, "Mamu, look at the position, watch how God is." Through your karma, God give you corrupt karma, He gives you the position you have in this life. He will make you a parent, He will make you a Mamu, He will make you, where we were talking about just now, Mausi and Pua, all these different accolades. What's the big fuss about Mamu? Mamu is the only male that will love you like your mother. Mami, your mother, Mamu. Mamu is the one who is, if I remember correct, drag the soup when the child now coming home and they hit in Tariya Nota to celebrate the birth. The Mamu says, "I will support you in your growth." That is why now on the day of the wedding, when they're doing the Imbli part, when they're biting the bitter leaf, the Mamu is there holding the mother hand. I made the promise that I would help with the upbringing of your child. I would not throw you away, my sister. I would not throw you away. I will stand with you. So on the wedding day now, Mamu comes back to say, "We bless this child," that the bitter leaves represent the bitterness of life, that we don't wish you to have it bitter. We will take that from you. If we could only bless you so that we could take, we will take it. And the lady just bite the leaf. After the girl bite it, she just threw it up. But in this case, the Mamu doesn't act the role. Karma just give you this position of the job you have. But you choose to dispense your knowledge, your love, your affection, your financial help in different ways. And there now you're going to end up in problem. Just like in Mahabharata, Duryodhan and all his brothers depend on their Mamu Shaukani. And instead of being the type of Mamu to help, listen to your Morana boy, stop your stupidness, do the thing correct. He tells them, keep fighting for the land, keep trying to build strife. But this is where the person started to think about the self. It have a discourse that explains why Shaukani is the way he is. Shaukani's family was harmed by Dhritarashtra, because Gandhari had what we were talking about the other night, Mangal Dosh. And they had married her to a dog before so that she could get married and stay married. She wasn't supposed to be happily married. She has problems in her marriage. And she eventually does have problems, but the husband lives. So when Dhritarashtra finds out that he's married to somebody who was married before in those times, that's a big thing. He goes and he imprisons all the father-in-law, the brother-in-law, and Shaukani is the youngest brother. And in that discourse, they say that he was starving them. He was punishing that entire city where they had come from. And Shaukani's father told him, we are going to have to eat each other. In order to survive, there's no food. So, one by one, somebody will die, we will eat them. And so we will go until one person will live. You will be the one to live, Shaukani. You're the youngest. You have to survive. So that why you will go in your sister's house and you will enact the greatest form of revenge that you could imagine. He says, I don't want you to forget, these people that live in Hastinapur feel they are more big. Their city is bigger. Their armies is bigger. So they walk into your father's little city and try to, overthrow everybody. Look at what they married our daughter. They married your sister. And this is how they treat us. One by one they did die. And then the only people that remain is the father, Shaukani's father, and Shaukani. He says, when I die, you are going to take my bone, the bone of your father, and make the dice that you will play. And you will take this dice and you will go and destroy that family. Before he leaves the earth, the father takes his foot and one solid kick against his own son, breaks the foot just before the ankle. He's in a jail cell where nobody's attending to them, so he heals. The healing process is not the best. Heals with a little kink in it. So he has a hop and drop kind of way. So when he gets the lash, Shaukani says, Daddy, why did you just do that to me? He says, for the rest of your life, you will walk with pain. You will live, but you will have that constant reminder of this suffering. You will remember what our people went through, what your family went through, and never forget your purpose is to go there and do the damage, to see them cry and to see them fall. Never let them strive. And the father dies, and he takes these dice, not the dice like where we know it's small, so these dice are long. They roll the dice in their hand like this. And Shaukani learns special prayer that no matter what he calls for, I want a 7, for example, I don't know, a 7. That 7 have to come. He ties the father's soul to the bones that are in that dice. And the spirit that when he calls on that dice to work, it works. Fast forward, Shaukani goes to live in the house where Dhritarashtra and Gandhari are living. He lives there. He gives up the palace. He's not a king of his own city. He stays with his sister and he tells them in Mahabharata, I am the Mamu and I will take care of my nephews, 100 son and 1 daughter they have. And I will guide each and every one. Don't worry. You have so much on your plate. Trust your children with me. And Shaukani makes them play and do and say. And instead of trying to iron out the little children rivalry between these Satachiran Kauravas and their cousins, the Pandavas, Shaukani says, they don't like you. They want to take from you. Go and fight them. Get the weapon. Insult them. You see how they laugh at you? Don't forget that, Duryodhan. And build the war. Let it amass until it reached a header that they must destroy. When all are dead. And Gandhari is crying. And she blames who? She blames Krishna. Who tells Krishna that your family have to die? It is this daughter, the sister of Shaukani, Duryodhana's mother. You could have stopped this war. This is at the end. You could have stopped this war at any time. You could have saved my children at any time. But you went and you allowed them to fight. Now it have some different versions there because everybody is adding. And Shaukani is the one who is choking. But instead of blaming him, she's blaming God. And she puts a shrap on him. Just as how all the members of my family die, I put a shrap on you, Christian. You will live to see every member, your brother, your sons, your nephews, every one of them will be destroyed. He takes the shrap and he bows. He didn't say nothing. Shaukani at this time is dead on the battlefield. This is the part where when Bhim go to get a hug from his uncle, Dhritarashtra, in the Bhagwat Gita, the man who is asking all the questions. Krishna pushed him aside and he put Dhritarashtra to go and stand up in front of a big statue. And with the hug of this king, with the pain of the loss of all his children, he squeezes his nephew and breaks by the waist of the statue. He says, and Bhim says, oh uncle, I made a mistake. You're hugging a statue after it break. He says, but so much love, uncle. Look, you've cracked the waist of the Murti, uncle. You're so powerful. I didn't know you love me so much. Krishna, in this instance with his Mamu, similar type of story. God give you a position. God give you a role to love, nurture, and affect, with affection, with love. Support the parenting of these children. But you took that and you contaminated that role with your envy and jealousy. Envy and jealousy because Krishna was a threat to him. So now that he's a threat, he has to act in a very confusing way. You're supposed to be this, but now you're acting this way. And now that his life is coming to an end, even then he's so corrupted, he couldn't see. In many examples we've been discussing for this year, how people live a demonic life, but they are blessed that they meet their end by the hands of Mahavishnu. And in that moment, they realize what is happening, and they go to God. They don't run from it. Kans is not like that. Kans is bleeding. Kans is dragging, and he still wants to fight. He could still kill Krishna. At no point does he surrender. And when Krishna goes, in some pitié to see it, he runs up, 1 foot on the knee, 1 foot on the waist, and the other foot, the knee comes up now and rests on the shoulder here. And he takes his hand and he squeezes the neck. And he says, oh Mamu, with love I take you. And he takes the life, the jeev, out of his body. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. When all of them lay dead in that arena, Krishna thinks of one person. Again with mercy, he goes and he frees Ugrasen first. Hands him over to the people that are loyal to them, start to clean him and dress him and feed him, you could imagine. And then he goes to the cell where Devaki and Vasudeva are still chained after all these years. Let's do this last verse before we conclude for now. Devaki Vasudevayascha Vaigyan Jagadishwar Krita Krita Ye Kriparajatam Pautra Ye Sambar Jate Jaya Bhole
Baba Tab Sharana Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharana Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharana Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
They go and they want quickly get the chain open this gate, take them out. And they go in and all the jail, they open everybody. Pitar Ravya Sagrascha सत्यवर्षिक्य बाहयातम प्राणी प्राणी ये साथी सधरम रमा ये मातरते जय भोले
बाबा तब शरणम जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम.
When people are being freed, imagine the joy. Families are coming back together. And in the arena, the soldiers bring Vasudeva and Devaki. Their body is weakened, being locked up, not nourished properly. And Devaki is looking to see her boy, the baby that was born that night in Janamashmi. Remember, she didn't get to hold him, she didn't get to feed him. He's born, he takes form, and he has to go quickly, save him, get him out from here. She does not get to bond with her child. And she's holding on to the hand of Vasudeva, the only person she knew for all these years. She's holding on and she's watching, still traumatized, still thinking Kans is going to get up now. He's going to get up from on that ground. He's playing a trick. All these demons are here to kill us. Hide my son, hide my son. With that fear, she stands in the arena and she whispers to Vasudeva, which one? Which one is he? And Vasudeva says, see that one who is a little darker? His hair is very curly. That's your son. Namastute Ragavayetam Matar Kinta Yogarapi Ballaye Prashchityatam Putrayetam Bamakavi.
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम 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 जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम.
She goes quick and she hugs him, and Krishna receives her. He knows who she is. And he turns around and she cannot talk, she's crying. And he says, Ma, how unfortunate we are that me and my brother, we did not have the pleasure of in our infancy to be with you, in our childhood days to be with you, in our boy days to be with you. Unfortunate is the person who is robbed of the blessing of the caress of their parents. That when a child could have the dwelling close to their parents, then you know love, then you know joy. It is not possible in this mortal world to know the love of a mother or a father from any other source. Nobody will love you the way your parents love you. To repay that obligation is our time now, that we will spend this life earning the opportunity to repay you for all your suffering. It is not only for the physical pain, but for all the trauma, for all the separation, for all the service, for all the things that you and our Father had done for us. The Father comes close. He says, when you all were being named and Garg Muni had done your Nam Sanskar in my heart, in my mind, I couldn't give cow, I couldn't give one thing in Dan. But now I am free. And children, I am going to make up for what I did not get to do. Today my heart is full as I get to see Kans on the ground and me and your mother are free. But forgive us for not being there to hold your hand. Sukdev Goswami, Guruji is talking to Parikshit, fascinated by the charming words of their son. Devaki only looked, and she's only watching as if she's gazing at her son for the first time. Her eyes are hungry, she cannot get enough. She is bathing him with her tears, and she's saying, I never get to bathe you, I never get to feed you, I never get to cook for you, I never get to hear your first words. I am a parent by name alone. And all Krishna could do is hug her and take take all that she is dishing out and all that she's giving. Parikshit, there is nobody that will love you like a parent. And in this instance, when this person, when nobody would understand the heart of this mother, that universal parent is there, holding her and taking all the pain. Krishna was sucking out that unhappiness and replacing it with joy, tears of happiness, and allowing the depression, the anxiety, the pain, the suffering to go. When a woman goes to make the baby and she's going through pain in the different parts and stages of her life, who takes away, who gives her the ability to forget that initial pain? But in the same way, through the contact with God, that servant of God has to do its duty, has to do its bidding as a mother, as a woman, and somehow they start to forget. And Krishna, just as he made Yashoda forget when she looked in his mouth and she saw the universe, she couldn't realize his true potency. He makes her forget all that she saw. And she continues to say, oh Krishna, you're so wicked. She goes back to that mode. No. Devaki is in a different mode. She's in a different form of ecstasy. She's happy. She's grateful. She realizes what has happened. Let's hear what happens in this verse. Krishna Sankarshana Chaturbhuj Labha Manorathaye Grihashu Re Mati Re Siddha Krishna Rama Ghata Gajaye Ye Yati Jaya
Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai 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 Sambha Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Jai Sambha Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
All of them witness the joining of Krishna to Devaki, Balaram with Devaki. Devaki does not want to leave them. She does not want to let them go. She's carrying them. This is your uncle, this is your grandfather, this is your so-and-so, this is your relative. And they are being reunited. All is happening. But none is standing right there in the arena. And this is the one he did embrace and did play and did talk and did hold for his entire life. And somebody else is holding his hand now and carrying him in a different direction. And Nand is standing there with tears, and Krishna has to come and talk to him now. Peter Yadava ye bhyatam Shoshitau ye lila mriga Putra ye ramba vrida ye pratirat Manojo manoro ye yapi Jaya Bhole Baba
Tab Sharanam Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Sambha Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Jai Sambha Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam
Jaya Sambha Sada Shiva Tava Sharanam. Oh Daddy, oh Father, both of us are extremely happy. And we are nourished because of you, Nand, Yashoda, and Rohini. You have always been very affectionate to us and true parents towards us, allowing us to grow and to develop. You are like my real father. Yashoda is my real mother. But now we have to spend a little time in the city of Mathura. Dad, you return to Vraj and look after the welfare and the felicity of those people. We will visit you. We will visit our kin in that village. But do not grieve. Know that one day I will come to look for you. I am not going to leave you. And because of your sacrifice, I am not going to let you be pained further. I will not let you go through hardship further. Streams of tears start to run down Nand face because now he has to give up Krishna. Vasudeva is so happy he has to make up for lost time. He calls Garg, and they are busybody. Everything is happening. They want to do Janev. They want to do different prayers. And Nand is feeling like if piece of his body is being left in Mathura and he has to go home without his heart of grudge. He starts to study. What will he tell Yashoda? He told Yashoda that he's going to city wrestling and he will bring back her son. Very quickly, they make preparations for the initiation into the Gayatri Mantra by Garg Muni. They are going to give him the Janev. And Nand has to leave, seeing that great preparation, great amount of decoration, great amount of energy. But the sadness that he has within his heart, nobody understands, Parikshit. That when a person is bitten by the love, by the attachment for Krishna, when that person has to separate from his worship, separate from his murti, separate from his place of where his discourse is being read, when you have to leave that for a moment, when you are interrupted, if you really believe in your Krishna and you have that devotion, when somebody come and interrupt you, come to tell you something, somebody calling you on the phone, interrupt you in any way, it could be where it is. You'll get vexed, you'll get irritated. You do not need to come and talk to me right now. Multiply that by 100. He has to physically give up this child and he leaves to go Vrindavan. And Vasudeva is making preparation. It is a multiple day puja. One day they will get him christened or Guru Diksha. The next day they will do the Matikurna. The next day they have different prayers happening. And last day they're going to put on the Janev for both brothers. Vasudeva is very motivated that he wants to do all the prayers that he did not get to do as a father, was locked up in a jail all the time. I'm not going to waste any more time. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Pausing here for now before, as we conclude this session. In our next session, we'll talk about who is the Guru of Krishna and what happened there. And when he went to live with the Guru, he meets Sudama, we know that one. What happened? And when he come home, what went on with Devaki and Krishna. It's a wonderful discourse because it deals with how is it the 6 brothers, the first set of children that Kans kills. How come if you is, God's brother, how is it that somebody could kill you? Why are you so unlucky? So much to come this evening. If you have the blessing and the ability to listen, please tune in, watch. If you're here, God bless you. This means now that we only have, 4 more sessions. Our Bhagwat is running away and we are going to touch Christian God yet. If anybody have any requests for those of you here, you want to hear a particular discourse tomorrow, make up your mind and tell me what it is you want to hear. I will read it for you. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Everybody, let's all stand as we do Aarti to conclude this session. Babaji, you have a copy of the Aarti? You go sing? Sajam cha varti sanyuktam grahina yojitam mayam Deepam grihana devesham Trailokyat mirapaham.
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती,
पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला, नव ज्योति जगाने वाला।
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला, नव ज्योति जगाने वाला।
हरि गान यही वरदान यही,
हरि गान यही वरदान यही,
जग की मंगल की आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत सापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्शन खाने वाला।
ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत श्रापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला।
है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी,
है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी।
Together everybody.
मधुसूदन की आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती। भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
ये मधुर बोल जग फंद खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बेगरी को बनाने वाला।
ये मधुर बोल जग फंद खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला।
श्री राम यही घन श्याम यही,
श्री राम यही घन श्याम यही,
प्रभु की महिमा की आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
जय जय
भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती। भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
भगवान की है आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
हरि ओम नमो नारायण।
हरि ओम नमो नारायण। हरि ओम नमो नारायण। हरि ओम नमो नारायण।
ओम नमो नारायण। हरि ओम नमो नारायण। ओम नमो हरि ओम नमो नारायण। हरि ओम नमो नारायण। हरि ओम नमो नारायण। 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 ओम नमो नारायण।
Namo Narayana. Dear Lord, thank you for today and thank you for this opportunity to listen to your discourse. In Bhagwat Dharma, the Vyas does not have to tell you how to interpret the acts of the Lord. Ved Vyas made it in such a nice setting. Good over bad. But depending on the person's karma, one person might interpret it one way, another person might interpret it another way. Depending on how that chit, that voice in your head, what speaks to you, what you learn, what you take away from the actions and the glories, the history of your Lord, that is what will benefit you now. Dear Lord, thank you for teaching me this lesson. Thank you for allowing me the energy of this moment to listen to your discourse. May it purify me. May it change me. May it make me a better person, a better devotee. Together. Tvameva Mata
Cha Pita Tvameva
Tvameva Bandhusya
Tvameva
Tvameva
Dravinam Tvameva
Tvameva Sarvam
Mama Deva Deva
Tvameva Sarvam
Mama Deva Deva
Om Shanti. Everybody.
Shanti Shanti Hari Om
Prem se bolo Mahapati Mahadeva ki jai. Pavan Putra Hanuman ki jai. Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki jai. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai. Jai Jai. Sitaram. Sitaram everybody.